Welcome aboard, my name is Sharia, and you're listening to a brand new episode of the Aviation Files, the best podcast for all aviation enthusiasts. Today we will be doing a quick update on the Air India crash we talked about in the last episode, talk about Zurich Airport cracking down on ticketless passengers, quickly talk about the Paris Airshow, talk about an advancement in electrical aircraft, and lastly we will discuss the first all-Russian MC-21 finally taking flight. Without further ado, let's begin. In the aftermath of the devastating Air India Flight 171 crash in Ahmedabad on June 12th, which claimed 241 lives out of 242 people on board, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner bound for London, India's Aviation Safety Authority has mandated significant personnel changes. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, has compelled Air India to dismiss 3 staff members due to critical operational safety violations. The regulatory directive specifically targeted a divisional vice president among the 3 terminated employees and required submission of a comprehensive report within a 10-day timeframe. Air India has executed this order with oversight responsibilities now transferred directly to the airline's chief operations officer. The DGCA has additionally cautioned the carrier against operating aircraft equipped with expired or uncertified emergency safety equipment. The terminated personnel faced removal due to infractions related to flight crew licensing protocols, mandatory rest period requirements, and insufficient experience qualifications for aircraft operation. While the DGCA refrained from explicitly connecting these dismissals to the Ahmedabad tragedy, the agency referenced recent safety violations and characterized problems as systemic, threatening severe consequences for future regulatory breaches. Air India responded promptly to address regulatory concerns, with company representatives acknowledging the directive and confirming implementation. The spokesperson emphasized that the Chief Operations Officer would assume direct supervision of Integrated Operations Control Center during the interim period. The airline reaffirmed its dedication to maintaining strict compliance with safety protocols and international regulatory standards. The carrier faces mounting pressure from both regulatory bodies and the traveling public to restore confidence in its safety procedures, particularly as it prepares to confront intensified competition from Indigo, which has ambitious plans to penetrate the premium long-haul market that represent Air India's most lucrative segment. The DGCA's directive dated June 20th, 2025 instructed Air India and its subsidiary carriers to initiate internal disciplinary actions against the 3 named individuals. These employees must be immediately removed from all responsibilities involving crew scheduling and aircraft rostering, with the required compliance report filed within the specified 10-day deadline. Air India operates under the ownership of the Tata Group. Furthermore, the Aviation Authority issued a show cause notice following the discovery of flight duty time limitation violations during spot inspections of Bengaluru-London flight conducted on May 16th and 17th. These inspections revealed breaches of the mandatory 10-hour duty limitations, adding to the airline's regulatory challenges. For Boeing, this development potentially shifts focus away from aircraft design speculation that emerged following the tragic incident. If the investigation concludes that Air India's safety lapses contributed to the accident, it could have more significant long-term implications for the carrier than for the American manufacturer. Regardless of the ultimate cause determination, Air India must undergo a comprehensive safety culture evaluation to reassure passengers that such deadly incidents will not occur. Now, despite the aviation industry's stringent security protocols, incidents of unauthorized passengers boarding commercial flights continue to challenge airport operations worldwide. Zurich Airport, ZRH, has experienced a concerning upward trend in ticketless passenger attempts, with cases increasing from a single incident in 2023 to 4 occurrences in 2024 and another 4 during just the first half of 2025. According to an investigation conducted by Swiss public broadcaster SRF, these incidents highlight vulnerabilities in the boarding process. One notable case from June 2024 involved a woman who successfully boarded a flight by quickly walking past a counter when an airline employee, and I quote, briefly turned away from the boarding pass check, and subsequently slipping past gate security. The unauthorized passenger was discovered only after cabin crew conducted a mandatory head count, which revealed a discrepancy between passenger numbers and official documentation. Airport spokesperson Bettina Kunz explained the detection process. When head counts don't match paperwork, checks are performed to identify excess passengers on board. The same woman attempted another unauthorized boarding just weeks later on a Barcelona-bound flight, employing a tailgating technique by following a validly ticketed male passenger through security checkpoints. Again, the cabin crew's headcount procedure exposed her presence. Another incident involved a passenger who claimed to be conducting an experiment to test whether flying without a ticket was as simple as traveling by train without proper documentation. This range of motivations demonstrates the varied reasons behind these security breaches. The increase in stowaway attempts has prompted authorities to enhance security infrastructure throughout the airport, including expanded camera surveillance and sensor deployment to identify unauthorized individuals. This security reinforcement comes during a period of significant passenger growth for Zurich Airport, which is experiencing its busiest operational year on record. While Kunz emphasized that 4 annual incidents represents a minuscule fraction of the approximately 11 million passengers departing from Zurich yearly, the trend remains troubling for security officials. Importantly, no unauthorized passenger has successfully completed an entire flight from Zurich to their intended destination.
This audio was created with Podcastle.ai.
Successfully completed an entire flight from Zurich to their intended destination, according to available airport records. Zurich Airport continues its robust growth trajectory, having processed over 31.2 million passengers in 2024 and projecting more than 32 million travelers for the current year. CEO Lucas Brossi confirmed smooth operations during the challenging Easter travel period, expressing confidence in the airport's summer capacity management capabilities. The airport anticipates increased demand for U.S. destinations served by multiple carriers, including Swiss, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines. April passenger traffic reached 2.7 million, representing a 6% year-over-year increase, while cargo operations expanded by 8% annually. The airport's reputation for efficiency and sustainability measures supports its continued growth as a major European aviation hub. The ticketless passenger phenomenon extends beyond Switzerland, with similar incidents reported globally. A Norwegian man successfully flew from Munich to Stockholm via Lufthansa without a ticket after an initial failed attempt, only being discovered when he requested to remain on board for the return journey. Such cases highlight the distinction between boarding pass verification and security screening procedures. The widespread adoption of digital boarding passes has inadvertently complicated security measures as counterfeit documents become easier to produce, and airline staff may rely on visual inspection rather than electronic scanning. Industry labor shortages, particularly in customer-facing roles, contribute to the problem as overworked personnel may miss unauthorized passengers who exploit timing and distraction opportunities. Recent U.S. incidents include high-profile cases such as Svetlana Dali's successful journey from New York to Paris without proper documentation, and a Christmas Eve stowaway discovery on a Delta flight from Seattle to Honolulu that had already begun taxiing before the unauthorized passenger was identified, causing a 2-hour delay. These incidents underscore the global nature of this security challenge and the need for enhanced vigilance across international aviation networks. Now, let's talk about the Paris Airshow. The 2025 Paris Airshow at Le Bourget unfolded under distinctly subdued circumstances, with the tragic Air India Flight 171 disaster in Ahmedabad fundamentally altering the event's commercial aircraft landscape. The devastating crash, which, as I said, claimed 241 lives, prompted Boeing to dramatically scale back its presence at the airshow and cancel planned announcements. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg and Commercial Airplanes President Stephanie Pope canceled their scheduled appearances in France, redirecting their focus to supporting the ongoing investigation in India. The company's marketing representatives informed journalists that their priority shifted to, and I quote, supporting customers rather than announcing orders at this airshow, end quote, as staff wore Air India logo pins to honor the crash victims. Pre-show analyst predictions had estimated approximately 800 aircraft orders, driven by sustained global aircraft demand despite uncertainties surrounding the President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Airbus entered the competition with distinct home field advantages, historically leveraging the Paris venue to outperform competitors. Boeing's position had already been somewhat diminished following the recent Middle Eastern airline orders during Trump's regional diplomatic tour, plus a significant May 9th agreement with International Airlines Group for 32 Boeing 787-10s and 6 Boeing 777-9s. The final tally revealed Airbus's commanding performance with 248 firm orders, including memoranda of understanding and letters of intent, plus an additional 156 aircraft options. Vietjet dominated the order announcements with a memorandum of understanding for up to 150 Airbus A321neos, representing the show's largest single commitment. Embraer achieved more modest results, securing 77 firm aircraft commitments alongside 55 options. SkyWest Airlines provided the Brazilian manufacturer's highlight with an announcement for up to 90 E-175s, reinforcing this aircraft type's continued relevance in the U.S. regional market for years ahead. The comprehensive order breakdown is here. ATR, 15 firm orders plus 10 options. Airbus, 248 firm orders plus 156 options. Boeing, 41 firm orders plus 4 options. Embraer, 77 firm orders plus 55 options. The total reached 381 firm orders and 235 additional options across all manufacturers. Boeing's sole announcement involved All Nippon Airways' 45 aircraft commitment, though this merely formalized an existing February agreement rather than representing new business. Industry speculation had suggested potential announcements for up to 40 Boeing 777Xs from Air India and 20 Boeing 737 MAX 7s from Ethiopian Airlines, though neither materialized, possibly indicating that these deals were never definitively confirmed. Boeing maintained a presence through static displays featuring Boeing 787 and Boeing 777 aircraft provided by Riyadh Air and Qatar Airways respectively. However, the manufacturer's commercial aircraft activities remained deliberately low-key, focusing on customer support rather than aggressive marketing initiatives. The somber atmosphere, derived from the French word meaning undershade, proved particularly apt for an air show overshadowed by tragedy and conducting under intense Parisian summer heat. The event demonstrated how external circumstances can dramatically reshape industry gatherings, transforming what should have been a celebration of aviation achievement into a more reflective and subdued affair. Now, an electric aircraft recently landed at JFK. A revolutionary moment in aviation occurred on June 3rd when passengers at New York JFK Airport witnessed an unusual aircraft navigating the taxiways, the Beta Alia CX-300, a fully electric aircraft that represents a significant step towards sustainable aviation. This distinctive white machine, featuring a helicopter-like body with a straight wing, dual vertical stabilizers, and rear-mounted propeller, completed a 45-minute flight from Long Island MacArthur Airport to JFK, cruising at 135 knots. The flight's economic implications proved as remarkable as its environmental benefits, costing merely $7 in electricity compared to an estimated $160 in fuel costs for a conventional helicopter covering the same route. Aviation International News first reported this demonstration flight, which validated the commercial viability of electric aircraft technology for short-range operations. Beta Technologies has developed two variants of their electric aircraft platform. The Alia A250 represents a vertical takeoff and landing configuration incorporating a standard in-house electric motor plus 4 additional lifting motors, positioning it as a helicopter replacement. The Alia CX-300 eliminates the 4 lift motors while maintaining identical specifications otherwise, targeting the market currently served by aircraft like the Cessna Caravan. Both aircraft versions achieve maximum speeds of 153 knots with instrument flight rules operational certification. Each model accommodates a single pilot operation with 5 passenger seating capacity, or 200 cubic feet of cargo space in freight configuration. While cargo volume falls short of the Cessna Caravan's capacity, the electric alternative offers substantially lower operational costs. Comparative analysis reveals significant economic advantages. The VTOL variant promises $28 per hour energy costs versus a Bell 407 helicopter, representing an 84% reduction in carbon emissions. The conventional Alia CX-300 variant offers $18 per hour energy costs compared to a Cessna 208's $347 per hour fuel expenses, achieving a 75% carbon emissions reduction. Beta has validated the Alia CX-300's range at 386 nautical miles, or 715 kilometers. The electric aircraft sector encompasses various innovative projects beyond Beta's offerings. The Pipistrel Velis Electro achieved the distinction of becoming the first fully certified production electric aircraft in 2020. The Aviation Alice, which maiden-flighted...
This audio was created with Podcastle.ai.
The The Aviation Alice, which maiden-flighted in 2022, features twin rear-mounted propellers with 9 passenger capacity and 250 nautical mile range. Despite securing hundreds of orders from operators including Cape Air and DHL, Aviation has suspended development while seeking additional funding. Hart Aerospace of Sweden is advancing the ES-30, a hybrid electric commuter aircraft utilizing turboprop engines for takeoff and extended range operations while relying on electric motors for standard flight operations. This 30-passenger aircraft has attracted substantial commitments from major carriers including United Airlines, Air Canada, and Mesa Airlines, plus letters of intent for nearly 200 additional units from airlines like Icelandair, JSX, and SAS. Electric aircraft technology promises dramatic reductions in carbon emissions alongside substantial cost savings, though current battery technology limitations represent significant challenges. Batteries lack the energy density of conventional jet fuel, resulting in heavier aircraft with reduced power output and operational capabilities compared to traditional power plants. These limitations make electric aircraft particularly suitable for shorter commuting routes, exemplified by the Alia CX-300's Long Island to JFK demonstration flight. While this market segment doesn't match the sale of demand for larger aircraft like the Airbus A320 or Boeing 737, it represents a substantial commercial opportunity where buyers will evaluate both environmental impact and compelling operational economics. The successful JFK demonstration flight represents a pivotal moment in validating electric aircraft technology for practical commercial applications, potentially accelerating adoption across the regional aviation sector where range limitations pose fewer operational constraints. Finally, I want to talk about the first all-Russian MC-21 taking flight. This was a milestone in Russian aerospace development, and it occurred on April 23, 2025, when the first MC-21-210 airliner, constructed entirely from domestically produced components, successfully completed its maiden flight. The prototype medium-range aircraft bearing tail number 73055 departed from Irkutsk Aviation Plant's airfield, marking a significant achievement in Russia's aviation independence efforts. The United Aircraft Corporation, UAC, has intensified development efforts since the onset of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which triggered comprehensive embargoes on Airbus and Boeing imports. Russian commercial aviation had previously relied heavily on these Western supply chains, given the overwhelming market dominance of the two major aircraft manufacturers in the country's airline fleets. This historic flight featured cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko, who holds a world record for cumulative time spent in space as part of the test crew. The 4-hour evaluation flight focused on testing various onboard systems, including radio communications and other critical aircraft equipment, according to Aerospace Global News reporting. The initial MC-21 prototype had incorporated Western components, including Pratt & Whitney PW1000G engines and Honeywell auxiliary power units. While the aircraft was always intended for eventual domestic component integration, the development timeline accelerated dramatically following sanctions that severed access to American and European suppliers after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The fully Russian-equipped aircraft now features 5th-generation PD-14 engines, which have completed certification and entered mass production at UDC Perm Motors. Additional domestic systems include the auxiliary power unit, air conditioning and pressure control systems, lighting equipment, and aircraft system consoles. Russian-manufactured components now comprise the power supply systems, hydraulic systems, and landing gear assemblies. UAC estimates requiring between 220 and 230 test flights to achieve complete MC-21-310 certification. Aviation Week reported that Yakovlev, the renowned Russian aircraft manufacturer central to UAC Russification initiative, confirmed certification timeline delays. Current projections indicate the narrow-body aircraft will achieve production readiness by summer 2026, with Yakovlev also involved in Sukhoi Superjet development. Yakovlev has successfully replaced all foreign-sourced avionics and systems from the original prototype, applying similar modifications to the Superjet program. The MC-21 completion timeline aligns with both the SJ-100 Superjet and the Illusion IL-114-300 twin-turboprop commuter aircraft under UAC development. Russian government policy has pursued complete domestic air corridor coverage using domestically manufactured aircraft since at least 2021. The extended development timeline reflects the challenges of wartime industrial production, though the program continues advancing despite these obstacles. Successful development of competitive alternatives to Boeing and Airbus aircraft could significantly benefit Russian aerospace industry long-term prospects, contingent upon achieving quantity production and capabilities. Russia's aerospace heritage includes legendary manufacturers such as Yakolev, Sukhoi, Beriev, Tupolev, Illusion, and Mikhail Gurevich. While military aviation achievements gained international recognition during the Cold War era, civil aviation developments maintained equally crucial for transportation across vast Russian territory. Wilson Center analysis revealed that over 80% of commercial aircraft operated by Russia's top 20 airlines were foreign manufactured as of 2022. Ceasefire negotiations mediated by the Trump administration included provisions for Boeing aircraft purchases, underscoring the strategic importance of domestic aviation production. Major Russian carriers include Aeroflot, S7 Airlines, Russia, and Ural Airlines will require aircraft like the MC-21 to maintain operations if geopolitical obstacles like the Russia-Ukraine war continue blocking traditional supply chains. The successful all-Russian MC-21 flight represents a crucial step towards aviation self-sufficiency, though the path to full production and operational development faces continued challenges requiring sustained industrial effort and technological development. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and do make sure to support the Aviation Files however you can. Until next time.
This audio was created with Podcastle.ai